See, that's what I missed. There it is. It's working, I think. So it's showing me excellent connection. There's a slight delay. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I think we're live. I think we are live. Yeah. I don't know if the audio is working. That's gonna be a problem to test though. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I think it's working. Test, test, test. All right, let's get to it. So I'm doing this instead of recording videos from now on because it's much easier. And there's this live element that I really kind of excited about. But what I want to talk about today is actually something really, really interesting, which is this. Let me just pull it up real quick. Yes. So, in the past few days, I've been reading a lot of things about like motivation and things like that, and how to stay on track, stay motivated, and, you know, grind. And I've read Atomic Habits before. Remembered the strategies of starting small and growing it, and, doing something so small that it doesn't really matter. But I realized that reading it again kind of opened my eye to one really, really important thing, which is identity. And this is actually why I went live to talk about this identity thing. It's about like building identity and trying to establish a certain identity of, I am this kind of person. I'm the person who exercises. I'm the person who, I don't know, who eats healthy, who works really hard, who ignores distractions, whatever. And what I've realized is that it's a little bit harder than it seems, because everything you do, and maybe that's like the OCD part of my brain, like everything you do is building some kind of identity, and you are like the collection of all of these identities kind of put together. So if you drink a lot of coffee, you become a coffee drinker. If you exercise all the time, you become a person who exercises, or like a fit person. And what I now feel is that whenever I'm doing something, I'm like, what kind of person is that creating? What kind of identity am I building in that? And it's freaky to feel like, oh, I'm playing video games. Oh, I don't want to become like a person who only plays video games all the time. And I need to kind of balance these freaking identities. It's creating like some weird schizophrenia in my mind, or like split personality thing. But I don't know. I'm actually really curious what people think about this, about like building an identity. Is it something that is actively being done, or is it something that is more passive and people kind of, experience their personality or their identity change throughout time? Um, I don't really know. I don't really know. But I actually really think that when it comes to, for example, what I'm doing right now with live streaming, I feel like the identity of a thing is the first thing that people think about when they do anything. So when you do streaming, like, oh, I don't want to be a streamer. When you ask people about doing YouTube or doing content, they're like, oh, I don't want to become a famous person who does content and da-da, which is ridiculous, right? It's like, don't get attached to that. Just go with it first and then see what happens. And that's kind of what I'm doing. But I don't know, the perception of streaming is a little bit off. Uh, like a lot of people who do streaming um, end up doing more and more ridiculous shit to get views, to get attention, to get eyeballs. Like I saw a video like really 2 hours ago of this like Uyu meme. I don't know if you guys know about it. Where were just these two guys? I think they were a couple, and one guy was on a chair, just like swirling around, and the girl was just like in front of a camera, and she's like ooh, 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 dancing, and I was just looking at that, and it did catch my attention, but I would say for the wrong reasons, because I feel like it's really like I don't know, destructive. They're selling something more than who they are to just get some views or get some donations. I don't know what the purpose that they have, but it's a little bit weird. And actually, what I want to do with these streams, with this channel in general, is I want to kind of create some sort of a communication based channel where people feel free to learn about communication, to practice communication, and to just hang out and have fun and talk about things relating to psychology, communication, and stuff like that. And today I'm gonna keep it a little bit brief, but what I wanted to talk about when it comes to communication specifically is this bridge between the online ease of communication, like the way I'm doing it right now, like one to many kind of communication, and one to one communication. And actually, I have a tablet for that I will be drawing a lot on these streams. I like explaining things with pencil because I'm a teacher and I teach communication and I also teach English, and I really enjoy these things, but I lose things a lot, so I think I lost my freaking pencil. I have no idea. Ah, there it is. Great. So, what I want to talk about is... God damn it, I have no idea how to share this thing, but I'll figure it out. So I'll open this thing over here. Excelodraw. OBS. OBS. I think I can maybe do this. Oh yeah, there it is. Perfect. Boom, boom. All right, so I hope that my screen is visible. I really do hope. And let me do this. There has to be a better way of doing this, but I'm going as I... There we go. I think it's working. Perfect. So let me just minimize this. I know the tab thing situation is atrocious. That's how it goes here. All right, there we go. Boom. Okay, so one to many and one to one. Let's see how we're gonna get through this live thing. I don't know if I need to read the chat or something. No one's here yet. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so with the one-to-one communication, we first need to establish actually what it is and what it means to kind of just connect with someone, or what is even the purpose of communication. Start with like the real basics. And for me, it's this. It's, let's say this is a person and this is another person, and how well they communicate depends on how well they feel connected to each other after the fact, right? And I wouldn't say this is only for like platonic communication. It can also apply to dating. That at the end of it, if the person says, "Oh, that actually was a really good conversation. I really enjoyed this person's presence. I really liked them as a person," they would say that the communication was good, or that would be that the communication actually went well. Now, when it comes to this part of like how do we say what is the criteria, the main criteria that this is good, that this communication has happened or it happened well, I would say it is one main thing, which is this. It's the, it's that the person A and person B kind of had a, how do I draw this one? A really nice balance between giving and taking, right? So, for example, when you're talking to someone, you're giving a little bit of yourself, you're sharing, right? You're sharing who you are, what you think, what you like, what you don't like. So, you're sharing a little bit, going down. It's going like more towards your side, and they share as well. So, it goes to their side. And that balance of I share, they share, I share, they share, that back and forth is the enjoyable thing. And this is what, in my view, makes a communication really fun and engaging. But a lot of the times, sadly, this is rare, right? No one does this. This is like so freakishly hard to find, where you talk to someone who's like, "Oh, yeah, that's actually a really nice conversation. I really enjoyed this person's presence." Usually, one person is either extremely quiet, they're super silent, they don't talk about anything, they just reply with one words. So you feel like, "Oh my God, they're not interested. I'm being weird. Why am I talking too much? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah." They make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe they're just shy. Or it's the extreme opposite of, "Oh my goodness, this person would not shut up about his life," right? They talk about who they are, what they do, where they like, what they don't like, blah, blah, blah. Like it's just this endless stream of them. And that lack of balance is what creates this kind of, how do I say, this kind of dissatisfaction that you don't like it, right? And this is why, for example, um, one to many communications, where you're talking to a person who is maybe online or who has some kind of online presence, is nice because that expectation is not there. You don't expect it to be balanced. You expect that you will give a lot of your attention, a lot of your time, and they would give you maybe a little bit if you donate or if you interact with them. So that, I think, makes it more understandable. But in a one-on-one, I really believe that this is kind of a very important balance to strike. And I actually would love to talk about how to strike that balance. And fuck it, let's do it right now. So, actually, this is something that I do teach my students a lot, which is how to create that kind of balance in a more or less natural way, you know? Because even for me as a teacher, I deal with this quite a lot when I teach communication or even when I teach English. A lot of my students are usually shy, and they're more on that side where they don't really like to talk. They're more on like, let me just relax, let me just chill, let me just listen to what this person is saying. And in the beginning, when I was teaching, it was really hard to get them talking because there was this silence, and that silence felt uncomfortable. I'm like, ugh, like I don't like it. It was awkward. It was very uncomfortable for me to sit in that silence. So what I ended up doing is I would just talk a lot, just nonstop. It was exhausting for me. It was exhausting for them, and it's all because of this. It's imbalanced. Now, what I think really, really helped is I started expecting them to respond and react and do shit. And what that kind of created is like I would say something and I'm like, what do you think? I just sit with it. And they're looking at me and I'm like, it's time for you to speak, brother. It's not, I'm not gonna say a word. And they're like, I don't really know. I'm like, yeah, take your time. You can I would really love to know what you think. And I would just nudge them to kind of get them to realize that this is the kind of conversation that we're having. That this is a conversation where you have to talk. This is not an imbalanced this. It's gonna have to swing. You're gonna have to talk, and then I will ask you some questions, and I will share things about myself, and beam bam boom. It's gonna go back and forth. So I really think that when it comes to this kind of flow, it is very important to identify where you're at. Like, am I talking to someone who is a talker, a an aggressive, dominant person who always wants to speak, or am I talking to a more like reclusive, more like shy person who just wants the other person to talk and they want to listen? Once you identify that, then it's your job, and I totally believe that, to kind of balance it out. Actually, I don't know you can do this. To balance it out, so you hit them with the what the hell? Okay, there it is. So you either say you ask them questions, you get them to talk, or you are more in a um, active role, more dominant. You interrupt them, and you talk, and you kind of alternate when you feel like, oh, this is too much. I'm speaking way too much now. Let me ask a question. Or they're talking too much. Let me interrupt them. Let me speak. Now, the way to do these things are actually a little bit complicated. And this is a lot of the things that I teach. I will dedicate a whole thing to it, where I talk about like exactly how to interrupt in a nice way and how to ask questions to get the other person to talk. Also, to be more inviting and less, hey, talk now. It's important. You know, I think this kind of balance is really, really interesting. And I actually want to do this other thing that just crossed my mind. Just me watching Dota, um, which is Joe Rogan actually, because Joe Rogan to me is super super interesting, and I was looking at his um clips because I listen to him a lot. Like, what makes him so successful? What makes him so good at just getting people to talk and getting people to really engage with him, that he ended up growing this insane podcast where he has tons of people and people are just going at it with him. It's this is the clip that I found, that I saw, and I'm like, I need to talk about this clip is freaking awesome. So the clip is around this thing. What was it? Joe Rogan. Da, da, da. I think funniest clips or some montage that was. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Bingo, bingo. Where is the. God damn it. I have it in my notes. Let me just pause this real quick just to find it. Ah, there it is. 5:30. Where's 5:30? Yes, this one. Check this one out. And then I will share what I think about it. So this is really funny to me because he's not only listening, but he's really freaking good at active listening. I love this thing about him where he's like he's asking questions and he's really trying to understand exactly what the other person is saying. And even though he probably understood, or even if he does understand, asking these questions to get like that extra layer of clarity is so good. It's so important to make the other person feel like, oh, this person is interested. They like what I'm saying. I should talk more. I should share more. I should be more engaged. I should be more engaging. And yeah, I love him for that. I don't know if the audio is actually getting picked up here. I just noticed. I think the audio did not get picked up.
These farts were.
Oh fuck! It didn't get picked up. God damn it! Wait, let me see. Yeah, it didn't get picked up. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. God damn it! But yeah, the idea remains the same, but I just have to go back.
I talked to your buddy Eddie Bravo, and that guy is a real.
He's out there.
He's like a deaf Jack Russell almost, you know.
A deaf Jack Russell?
Yeah, because once he gets going, you can't.
Oh, Jack Russell Terrier?
Yeah. You ever been around one of those dogs? You open the car, and then the next thing you know, they're at the. Yeah. They're like sick. Yeah.
But how's he deaf?
Because you can't get him back. Like once he goes, you can't.
That's exactly what I'm talking
I'm saying.
about.
You can't get him back in the car. Like you're sitting there honking the whole.
So good at just getting the other person to talk, and you can see how Theo Vaughn, which is also an amazing communicator, how he's really becoming more and more engaged as Joe Rogan is like, yeah, dude, tell me more. Or why is it like that? Why is it like this? Active listening is huge, and I think it's a big reason for why he's so successful. God damn it, I love Joe Rogan, man. He's the best. So this is kind of the when you see someone who's like really good at it, that's how he does it. It's wonderful to see. But I want to show you actually someone who's not good at it at all. And I have the clip prepared. And to me, this is one of the let me show you this one. Check this out. I mean, it's a pretty brutal video, but I think it's it's really funny. Let's blast this one.
Why you do this, man?
Who would Brennan Schaub fight?
Why you do this, man?
What happened?
Why you do
What
this?
happened?
We could definitely have some
Yeah,
good
there's some
shop
big
fights.
boys. Chin, what do you do for Valentine? Any Valentine lovers out there for you?
I suck at that, dude.
We all
This
do.
has been an absolute.
What is going on
This
here?
is what your career's come to.
Yeah, hey, what the?
It hurts.
Oh, Valentine's
Real quick,
Day,
Brennan, since you asked,
Halloween's
the
all
last
big.
time when my
The fighter in the
Painful. Absolutely painful. And I feel like the thing that makes this such a painful interaction socially is that the person is already judging the interaction as it's happening. So this is actually exactly what anxiety is. So just to quickly go through this is so freaking fun. I didn't know I was gonna end up talking about all of this. But you know, this balancing act of like asking questions and responding and this ebb and flow is where communication is super fun and engaging. Anxiety about it is when you start talking about this. Wait, let me actually use the pencil for this. when you talk about how the communication is going, you are ruining everything. You know, like whenever you want to ruin a spontaneous act, you start talking about it. You know, if a person is just in their element singing or dancing, and you make a comment on how they sing or how they dance, you kill that process right away. Same thing, for example, with kids. You know, a kid who's like really into sports or really into singing, dancing, whatever, and their parents grab them, they're like, they put them in front of a crowd, maybe family members or friends or whatever, and they're like, dance, do the thing, you're a monkey, and do the monkey dance, and the monkey is frozen. You kill it right away. And I think this is what happens in in this cringy ass video. Wait, where is it? Yeah, this one, where the guy started talking about the conversation that is happening, and he started making judgments on it of like, oh, it's awkward, or oh, this is unfortunate, this conversation is not going well, or whatever. Froze it right in its tracks. They were trying to do something.
Who would
here.
Brennan Schaub fight?
Why you do this, man?
What happened?
Why you do
What
this?
happened?
We could definitely have some
Yeah,
good
there's some
shop
big
fights.
boys. Chin, what do you do for Valentine? Any Valentine
Can't keep up. I don't know what we're doing.
lovers out there for you?
I suck at
It
that, dude.
hurts.
We all do.
It hurts.
Absolutely.
What is going on here?
This is what your career's come to?
Yeah, hey, what the?
And then it died. It instantly died. The whole conversation, the whole vibe, the whole thing is now completely dead. And I really think that's what happens when you start, kind of adding that anxiety layer to a conversation, or express anxiety in a conversation of just talking about it. It kills the whole thing. I would say this is like one of the worst things anyone could do ever. And I really think avoiding this is almost all the way there. You're doing it. You're talking better than 90% of the people that are that have conversations, because a lot of the times people just comment on the conversations they're having, and they end up ruining them because they start making comments about their freaking conversations. So I would say overall, this is kind of a good example, a bad example, and a general rule. I really think this kind of streaming thing is 100% for me. I'm gonna do it way more, because I'm gonna probably take this, make it as a video, and post it. And I think I have like 4 viewers. And for those 4 viewers, welcome, and thank you for listening to me talk and describe what I absolutely love talking about, which is communication. I absolutely love communication. I think it's one of those fascinating things that now more than ever has become so important as a skill, because it's basic supply and demand. Most people don't know how to talk. Most people are like terminally online. They don't really have enough practice to communicate, and it just fascinates me. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun, and I'll call it a day for now. Small steps, but I'll probably do this every other day, maybe every day. I don't know. Like at the end of the day after work, I'll just come in, drop by, say hi. But yeah, to those 4 people, welcome, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon.